Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Miguel, and thank you for tuning in to the Tech Flash channel. I have been away for a while, but not anymore. Today I have a very exciting phone with me, a phone that I personally have really liked over the past 1 month, and this is kind of like a 1 month review of the Honor Magic5 Pro, which is the phone that we have today. I have been using this for a while, and I'm gonna go ahead and do an unboxing just for the sake of the video because I haven't done that. So just to show you guys what's in the box, what the phone comes with, and kind of talk about the specs, and then talk about what this phone has been like and what I think about it. The Honor Magic5 Pro is probably the best phone that they have. This is actually their flagship, and it is kind of like a competitor to the S23, dare I say. A lot of people actually like this better, and there are some redeemable features of this phone that may actually make it better than the Samsung S23 Ultra. So real quick, looking at the specs, we have Honor Magic5 Pro here. This comes standard with 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of internal storage. The color that we have today is called green. It's actually called meadow green, but it's only mentioned green here. We have the phone over here. We're gonna go ahead and put it on the side. Quickly looking into the rest of the details, we have the SIM ejector pin here, alongside I believe there's a case. Yes, we have a silicone case with it, which is standard for most Honor phones. And we also have a 60-watt charger, which is always nice to see, and a 66-watt charger. And we also have a USB-C cable. So looking at the actual phone, unmistakably this is, you can tell this is an Honor phone with the rounded design of the camera bump. That's what Honor has been focusing recently on most of their flagship phones. And one of the things that I really like is the overall feel of this phone and also the heft of it. So I know that a lot of people don't really like heavy phones, but I wouldn't say it's heavy, but it does have some heft to it, which is something that I like because it does feel really premium. We have glass on the back and also Gorilla Glass Victus on the front. We have flat edges on the top and the bottom, and we actually have two speakers, one on the top and one on the bottom. We have a USB-C port, we have the SIM ejector pin, we have the power button and the volume rocker on the side. On this side we don't have anything, we only have the antenna bends. And one thing that stands out about this, what Honor actually calls the quad curved display, and that's basically the display is a little bit curved on all the sides instead of just being curved on both the edges here. It's actually curved on the top and on the bottom as well, which kind of makes the phone feel much better in the hands. I was comparing this to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is a 6.7-inch phone, and this is actually a little bit bigger, so this comes at 6.8 inches, but it's actually more comfortable to hold in the hands because it doesn't have the flat edges on the sides. It has a curved back and a curved display, so it's much more pleasant in the hands. It's easier to grab, it's easier to navigate with, so that's a plus point here. Now apart from that, Honor has recently been focusing on the cameras for their flagship phones, and it's no different here as well. This phone immediately stands out with the back camera, with the back array. We have a triple camera array here, which all of the cameras actually are 50 megapixels. We have a wide camera, an ultra wide, and also a periscope camera. But surprisingly, there are a few qualities which personally I believe after using this phone are actually better than the camera itself. One of the things is actually the battery life of this. So the Honor Magic5 Pro comes with a 5100 milliampere battery, and it's standard. So 5000 milliamperes nowadays is something that you'll see on a lot of phones. This has 5100. It's a little bit more, but it's so efficient that it's kind of surprising to the point where you can't believe that you still have battery left after all day. So from my experience using this on 100% display battery, hotspot on with a few people, and taking pictures and videos in 4K pretty much all day from sunrise until the evening, this still had around 30% battery. Part of that is also because of the chip that this has, which makes it that efficient, which we'll talk a little bit more about later on. Now, the second thing is actually the display, which is another feature which I think is actually kind of like a sleeper feature, and it's probably one of the best displays that I have seen. Let me go ahead and turn this on so that I can show you guys. So now that the phone is turned on, you can see, you can look at the display and see what I'm talking about. This has, one of the standout features about this is the brightness. So this comes with 1800 nits of brightness, which is way more than usual phones, which means that it is going to be extremely bright, and even in direct sunlight you're not going to be bothered at all. You can be able to see everything very clearly. And apart from that, the quality, the colors are really, really good. I would actually say that it actually competes very closely, or maybe even better than the S23 Ultra, which also has one of the best displays out there for Android phones. Apart from that, this comes with 120 Hertz of refresh rate, and this actually is an LTPO display, which means that it can actually go down to 1 Hertz if it's needed, so you're saving on battery. Two other things that this phone actually has is a video enhancer feature, which kind of improves the color accuracy of the phone while viewing videos. So YouTube and Netflix, you'll see better video colors. And then there's another feature, which is the frame rate booster, which is going to increase the frame rate for better viewing experience and smoother frames. Now, talking about the cameras, which is a standout feature of this phone, immediately noticeable from the design as well. As I did mention, we have a triple camera array, so we have all 3 cameras are at 50 megapixels, which is really good. We have the wide, the ultra wide, and the periscope all at 50 megapixels. Apart from that, we have a ton of features when it comes to the camera. We have different modes. We have a pro mode, we have a super macro, we have high res, we have manual mode, movie mode. There's one thing that I actually really like, which is the motion sensing capture on. So what that does is that if you're about to take a picture, or if you're about to take a video and it senses any sort of action that you think you want to capture, it will automatically capture it for you in 1 frame. So that's I think a very intelligent feature. That's something that I really like personally. Because it does, you don't then actually have to manually take the picture for. So if you're making a video and you see a moment that you want to capture, it will automatically just do it for you. This does take 4K videos, so you're able to do that, and this also does have 3.5x, 5x, and also 100 times zoom, but the 100 times is it's not optical zoom, it's digitally zoomed. Coming to the front camera, it does have a 12 megapixel camera, and it can also actually record in 4K, which is good if you want to vlog and stuff. When it comes to the performance, this phone, as I mentioned, is right up there with the flagships. This comes with Snapdragon's latest 8 Gen 2 processor, and if we do an Antutu benchmark score, you get over 1 million points, which is really, really good. It's again right up there with the rest of them. If you want to play games, you can also do that. One of the things that I just didn't like is that when you have it in portrait mode, you're actually touching the back camera and you're getting smudges and fingerprints all over it, which is a little bit uncomfortable. And even if you're just holding it like this, it's not grippy. It's annoying. It's a little bit annoying, to be honest. But apart from that, it's going to perform just right. It does have 12 gigs of RAM as standard, so all of these phones come with 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of internal storage. You cannot add a extra SIM, an extra memory card, so no external storage options there. And as I mentioned previously, the battery of this phone is extremely efficient, and the reason for that is also thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, which makes it very, very efficient for the battery to maintain all the battery life. When it comes to the charging, this will charge at 66 watts through wired charging. It will also charge at 50 watts through wireless, and it also has reverse wireless charging as well as a feature. One thing or one downside that I think that Honor has, and it's an area where I believe they have to improve a little bit, is the user interface. So Magic OS user interface, it's not bad, but I believe it's a little bit outdated, and it doesn't have as many customization features as some of the other skins out there. That's something that I personally think they should increase it. It looks a little bit old and outdated. That's the only downside that I have for this phone. Apart from that, there's actually one more thing which I found it interesting. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's actually something that you'll find across all of the phones, all the Magic5 Pro phones. And I thought that it was only with my phone, but then I did a little bit of research online and found it that that's actually the optical image stabilization sensor shaking inside. So if you do rattle it hard enough, it's gonna make a little bit of sound. which I think is a little bit odd. When it comes to the price, the Honor Magic Pro 5 is costs around 3,999 dirhams if you buy it on the official Honor website. It's right up there with the rest of the flagships, but I believe it's still a little bit cheaper than Samsung and the rest of them. I personally really have liked this phone over the past 1 month. I think it's a great daily driver. And probably my favorite Android so far right now. Usually I really like OnePlus, but Honor has really been stepping up their game, and I would highly recommend this phone if you are in the market looking for a flagship Android phone and you don't want to buy a Samsung, or you don't have the budget for a Samsung. This is probably the best option that you have right now, because you have a great display, great camera, great performance, great battery life. I don't think you can ask for anything more. But anyways guys, that's my review. Those are my thoughts on the Honor Magic 5 Pro. Let me know what you think. Please leave a like, subscribe if you can. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.